All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? This is QuakeRadio.com live. Let's go. Let's get in it.
We move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, we move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, we move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, we move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi.
Lotto gang is an army, better yet a navy. If you see that R with the wings, then you know it's crazy. It's been 4 years and done don't have to even pay me. We do the most and rep the ghost, no Patrick Swayze. I've been told I tend to talk about my team too much. That's only cause when I wanted to end it, they was too clutch. And homie, we not stunting any terror. We taking over this era on the cool with these saints. I can be out with Camara, and that's why for my squad, I pray a hedge of protection. We move as a body, different parts, same direction. Yeah, so if my people, if you ever feel neglection, get to a mirror so you can look into God's reflection.
We move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, we move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, we move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, we move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi.
I got the whole squad with me. No solo dolo, we defenders of the faith like we live in the dojo. If the head say move, we get bouncing like pogos. And the team so smooth, it's like we moving in slow-mo. R.I.P. representer, I'm riding for every member. Never quit the anger, no need for toting them hammers. Cause I'm cold with the sword, let the blade get up in you. That's a metaphor for words, so I guess this is my banger. You name her, anybody that's better than what you see. Where the hands and the feet move simultaneously. And the chest get the thumping cause the heart really beats. We gon' wax on and wax off any hate that you bring.
We move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, we move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, we move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, we move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi.
Your team get the trippin', boy, I'm calling the lotto. We roll with his wheel, rocket in his power like Otto. It's Da Vinci, but this team full of Pablo Picassos. If it's up, team get the clapping like Bravo. I'm pushing up the fam, cause the Gotti a gym. Why they pull up with they weight and bars, reppin' they sit. See the body ain't stressed by the muscle of men. We just working out of faith and getting prepped for the end. There's security in Christ, he don't take back his grace. My team is covered, if we stray, call us back to his way. We the prodigal and all of that really to say. The body need its pieces working, so don't lead him astray.
We move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi.
Yo,
We
move as a unit, better yet a body. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? This is QuakeRadio.com live with your humble host, Orlando Presents. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited tonight. Man, and I'm going to let y'all know something, man. I literally just walked in the door. Like 20 minutes ago, just walked in the door from work. It's been a late night, man. It's been a late night. But I thank God for it, though. I thank God for it. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, our special guest tonight, we have Mr. Jay Nice, the Kingdom Builder. You have to make sure you say every name. Make sure you say it. Don't cut my man short. That's Jay Nice, the Kingdom Builder, with none other than Mr. Dray South. Let's go. How y'all fellas doing?
Man, bless, brother, bless, man. Thank you for having us on. Thank you for having us on.
Man, man, this is all my pleasure. It's definitely all my pleasure. Yeah, because I just have to say, because back, I guess I don't know. When did you release? See, it's been about 4 years. Been about 4 or 5 years since you dropped something, Jay Nice.
Yeah. 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, we dropped, like, May will be 5 years since we dropped Kingdom Builders in the Building, which was my last official album. And since then, man, I just went into the battle rap arena and started doing that. And so shout out to all my frontline brothers, Sonny Trouble, Mac Da Vinci, Six Shots, Foolish Carlito, and King Odanga. So I just went into a different area of writing, and then COVID happened, and then post-COVID happened, and so I had to regather life. So it's been about 4 years since I dropped my last album, but Dre has dropped music more recently. Dre Soft, if you could tell him about that.
Right.
Yeah, I've dropped music more recently for sure, but God is so good, man. I'm still yet to drop like a debut solo album. So I have some collabs like this one right here. I have a song with my homegirl Erica Lynette that just dropped called Honey. That music video is out also. That just happened a couple of weeks ago. Me, Street Hymns, and a couple other friends from the Dallas area, we did a project in 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic that was focused on like kind of that pandemic as a topic, called YK 2020. And yeah, man, we just been trying to stay active, always pushing the pen, always trying to stay creative, always trying to see how I can be a service.
Amen. Most definitely. I feel you on that. I used to ask this question to a lot of artists, asking that question, feature or not to feature. You know what I'm saying? Because I listen to a lot of different tracks, and sometimes when I'm listening to a lot of different artists and they have some features on there, I'm like, what made them choose that particular artist for that particular track? Because sometimes it works, and sometimes, to me, and this is just to me, sometimes it doesn't. So Dray South, with you haven't put out, an album yet, but other artists and other individuals call you up and they want you to feature on a track and things of that nature. What do you do before you jump on a track with somebody? Have you ever turned down a track because you were like, well, you know what? I don't believe my style fits with what you're trying to put out?
I have in the past. Recently, I've definitely just been taking the challenge of like, if you send it to me, I'm going to send you something back. I have something to say on everything in this space right now. It's a blessing though, man. Like, it's always an honor. It's an honor to be able to like, I grew up like listening to Jay Nice. I've seen him for years before I was on a stage myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, my first radio interview is on a platform with him. My first show was with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my first tours was with him. So,
wow.
Yeah, bro. Like sometimes it's just like, like you jump at the opportunity. Like, I can't believe I'm able to do it. And then other times you have homies that you really want to help. And like, I put a lot of work in my pen. I put a lot of work in like artistry. So sometimes I just have something to offer tracks for people. So,
right.
Yeah, I look at it a couple different ways.
Okay, cool. I mean, yeah, I definitely understand that. Now, Jay Nice, pretty much the same question to you, but on the opposite side on it. When you do ask somebody to feature on there, what do you do before you ask that particular person? How does that artist line up with the track that you're asking them to put them on with you?
Yeah. For me, usually the people you see me work with, I've either built relationship with, or there's somebody who's inspired me in the past. I mean, if it's somebody who I've been working with for years, or I see how they are maybe a benefit to my career, or vice versa, where I can be them, I'm going to do the best I can to possibly work with them. Like when I did I've done several songs for a lot of brothers who I think are incredibly talented, and felt like the audience who supports me and believes in me, or thinks that, I've encouraged them to pursue God, I feel like they need to hear this new artist, then I will work with them and I will tour with them, and ask them like, hey, let's do this together so it could be for the benefit of you. Or people who inspire me. Like I often will ask them to be a part of what I'm doing because they'll challenge me to grow more. And so Dray South is somebody too. When I first started rapping, I was very pen heavy, and I tried to be very creative and punchline heavy and, you know, wordplay heavy. And sometime during the course of my artistry, it became less important to me because I lost that desire. And so when Dray South started on his rise of his career, I would see him writing, and I would get just encouraged by it and inspired by it to do what I did before. And he made me feel more comfortable to be who I was again. So that's usually how all of the features that I've worked on have gone. And then I look back this year, I think recently, right before we dropped this project, I looked and I've featured on 32 different artist projects within the last 4 years. And I was like, whoa, like, how did I even build that kind of catalog? But I realized it's just that I'm intentional with building relationships. So in the last 4 years, I've done 32 different projects, but I started rapping in 2005. I love if I can get an accurate depiction of how many people I've actually featured with. But that's kind of hard because of the mixtape era and the music that's not available for online streaming due to when we were just creating CDs and things like that.
Yeah. Because I know when you were heavy and you were really dropping a lot of music and everything, you were really different than what most CHH artists or gospel artists or anybody else that was really out here. Pardon me. That was out here. The thing that I was saying as far as being different, I mean, like the drive, the hunger, and really pushing it out there. Because even right now today, I don't see a lot of artists that even matched what, you know, your hunger and your drive that you had even 4 years ago. So can you let the folks know what brought that on? What brought that hunger out there? What brought that drive out there? Because some of the artists out here now may need to take some notes.
Yeah, I think for me specifically, it was the best way to say this is a lack of support. And I hate to say it that way, but that's the reality of the situation. Like, I was born in a Midwest/Southern state, then moved to an East Coast area, then came back to probably as far south as you can go in America, doing that. And so I didn't have a support group that was really a home base for me. So I tried to just create as much, and a lot of it came out of just my passion for the Christ. The more that I learned, the more that I wanted to share, the more that I wanted to articulate. A lot of it came from the genetics. My father was just a hustler. I mean, he worked 2 jobs and had sold his own products and sold his own clothing and things of that nature. And then my mom remarried my stepfather, who was a pastor, who worked 2 jobs and worked the second job just to keep the doors of the church open and to pay the bills for those who were misfortunate in the area. And then I saw like a need for me as well. Like, I watched the movie Pursuit of Happiness and laughed sometimes because I was like, that was my real life. I was raised by a single father who at times we were homeless. At times we had to live in shelters. At times we had to couch surf, and, you know, we relied upon churches to feed us 2 days out the week and for the canned goods giveaway because of a misfortune that happened to where he lost his jobs and couldn't work because of a physical disability. So when I got old enough to support myself and stay on my own, I realized that this music thing is something that can be spun to feed the needs of the people, man. We started a food pantry in our city. We started a backpack giveaway. We started a school supply giveaway and Christmas gifts and all these things. And so I had to work to be able to financially support them all. And so that's what made me hunger. It's like, I love the phrase, need more makes you do more. Like, the more you need, the more you'll work to acquire it. And so that's some of the things that helped me to work hard, you know, from being a event planner to doing a radio host to doing a podcast to doing South by Southwest and recording my own music all at the same time while still funding the food pantry. Made me hustle hard.
Man. Awesome, definitely. Mr. Dray South is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be speaking with him as well. Bro, for those that may not know exactly, you know, your name and who you are and where you're from, you know, drop some information on the folks out there that are listening in and that will be listening in a little bit later on with the, you know, the the recording and let them know where you're from. You know, a little bit about your testimony.
Yes, indeed, for sure. So, my name is Dray South. I am 28. I started making music in 2009. I was a part of a rap duo with my childhood best friend. His father was also in a rap group that was very impactful in the Central Texas area. So I really like grew up not just with like someone making music, but like specifically someone making like Christian rap, like very, very, very close to me. I grew up running merch tables and selling shirts and giving albums out, doing, you know what I'm saying, summer vacation Bible school joints. And I got to do the little I Rock song at the talent show and stuff like that, like all of that. So definitely grew up specifically in the CHH culture as a child. By the time I was 16, I started seriously going through music. My godbrother had passed away. My godbrother had cancer, and he was older than me. He was about 18, and he passed away. When he passed away, his mother gave me all of his music making equipment. He used to do Johnny Cash covers and stuff like that at like local Starbucks. You know what I mean? So, in a way, it was just like everything kind of made sense. Like, wow, I really feel like it's what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I wanted to carry that musical baton that my brother had laid down. My best friend was already into it. And so, yeah, I always had a love for music. I met Jay, like I told you, very early on in that. And I think maybe around 2011, 2012, myself, Jay Nice, We Are Chosen, Calvin Martyr, and FBC Click all came together under the name Salt Society. And that's been a collective of us just expressing excellence under God's standard together for a couple of years now, all in the Austin area, all Central Texas. So that's been kind of my run. I've had almost like a CHH, Forrest Gump CHH kind of situation. Like, I've been in some really like legendary situations, like in the back of a picture or something like that, my whole life. So, yeah, making this project with Jay was very natural after that, just because he had been family since that 2011, 2012 time frame. And like he had said, all those initiatives that he had started, I benefited from. You know, like those were my first shows. Those were the times where I learned even how to be a member of community like that. You know, like specifically inside of the Salt Society circle, bro, I don't know too many circles with people that just genuinely love each other like this. Like, we don't have secret groups where we talk about each other. Like, we have complete conversations and months of communication where music is not the focus of the talk, you know. Our lives are, things like that. So it's crazy. You just look up and these dudes are your brothers now. So yeah, man, that's me.
Now that is awesome. That's awesome. Most definitely. Man, come on now. They don't do that in the Christian genre, do they? Man, they don't talk about folks. Come on, man. Don't tell folks that out there. No, I'm just...
Nah, man, we have to, because I think what the misconception is with a lot of people is that church is full of perfect people. And it's like, if church was full of perfect people, there'd be no need for church. So the broken come in as broken as they are, and, you know, bring in whatever they are accustomed to. And it's up to Jesus to begin to shed it off. You know what I'm saying? And little by little, try to peel those layers back. Like, even me being a Christian artist, as long as I have, man, I've struggled with a lot of sin, and I fought a lot of sin and resisted a lot of temptation. I'm still not perfect, nor being perfected. You know what I mean? So I just ask that God continue to work within me and be who it is. So yes, there is that in church, because church is full of people. So just like there are people in the world that are that, there are people who come to church that still have that and waiting for God to just deliver them from it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's been a big part of City Council. Just that's, you know, City Council is probably the name, or it is the name that Jay and I will go by anytime we're collabing together on projects. And so we want to make sure that narrative is taken care of and looked at the right way. And it's not that we don't make mistakes. It's just that like when you're a child of God, you have a certain duty to work your mistakes through a certain way, you know. So we're able to kind of set that standard and lay that for our city and our community, that like, yo, you know, if me and Jay have a problem, y'all would see that happen in a very healthy way, you know, like a way that the Lord would be okay with. So, you know, we're trying to even set standards and lay that foundation even in that space.
Right.
That's very true.
And I love that. I love that because that's the same thing that myself and my partner, you know, Captain Jay with Quake RYC Praise News, same thing that we speak about. And we have a show called The Real Gospel Talk. Well, on The Real Gospel Talk, we speak about everything. There's nothing hidden. If you want to come on the show and speak about how you're feeling, things of that nature, what you're struggling with, you know, you can come there and open up and be honest about what's going on. And I think that's one thing that's really missing within the body of Christ a lot of times, is because a lot of Christians, a lot of brothers and sisters don't feel like they can be honest about what they're struggling with without being, you know, ostracized, you know, without that finger being pointed at them. So definitely I love what y'all are doing, man. Yeah, 'cause, I mean, that's just something that's, I'm like, wow, okay.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, not a problem at all, man, not a problem. So let's jump into the name of this project, man. One, what's the name of the project? Two, how many tracks do you have on there? And how did you all come together to birth this project? You know, what was the, I guess, what was the works? What was the brainchild? How did y'all go about putting this together?
Yeah, Dre, you can take that.
Yeah, so like I said, we're all in that collective. Jay and I are both a part of a collective of 6 called Salt Society, from the Central Texas area. Everyone's from Austin. So I think working together always was something that Jay and I had knew would come eventually. Honestly, this is just part of just being part of the community and all of that. I was just in communication with Jay Nice. He was in a space where like music wasn't really his priority. Like he wasn't really like super enthused about creating music or anything like that. And I'm like, yo, bro, you're Jay Nice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, part of my career is not my career without you. And so like at this stage, knowing that I think there's still so much like potential and so much value left in him as the artist, him as the rapper, I was like, bro, like, look, bro, let's do one song together. Like, let's do a project together. Like, you know, so it was very organic. We started with the track Big Check. That was the first joint that we made together with this in mind. And then from there, Jay had a couple songs that might have been 25% done, 35% done, maybe just the beat. I had some of the same, you know, songs that maybe needed an album to be a part of, songs that were 25% done. Maybe I just had a hook. And we put those things together. Jay really let me exercise some like executive producing spaces. So we did some rearrangements of songs. We moved some verses around. And yeah, bro, like the two of us made something that neither one of us would have been able to make by ourselves. So
yeah, that's accurate. That's very accurate. And the name of the album is City Council. It is available everywhere that you can, you know, stream music. So Amazon, iTunes, Apple Music, what's the other? Oh, Spotify, Tidal, all those. So you can get it everywhere nationally. You can even listen to it. A lot of people have been like, you know, I don't have the money to buy it. Like, you can even listen to it on YouTube. But if you do have the money to buy it, please do. Please do. Jay Nice, Between the Builder, and Dray South. And the album is called City Council.
Most definitely. Let them know, man. Let them know. We do have the singles, one of the singles up right now called Calling My Phone. Which one of y'all want to speak on that one?
Yeah, I'll definitely do that, man. Calling My Phone is a song that came out of pure honesty. I was having a situation to where during a season of depression to where I was kind of down, you know, heartbroken by different things that have happened in my life and just, you know, different passions that had went awry. my phone kept blowing up, and people were still calling me, needing assistance, needing advice, and needing encouragement to keep pushing forward in the midst of me being broken. And so that first verse is definitely talking about that. But then the second verse is, even though that was happening, I had people on the other end calling just to make sure that I was still in a negative position, hoping that I continued to fail. People were talking, behind my back, mocking God because of my my brief pause, which is funny to me because I had already been doing music for like 15 years and been successful at everything God called me to do. And the moment that I took a breath is when people started to question if I was even a believer anymore. And so that's what that song is about. Calling My Phone is about these phone conversations that I continued to have during this season when God was putting me in a hiding place. So check it out. Calling My Phone on City Council, available now everywhere.
All right. We're about to jump into it right now. Let's go.
Why even call my phone? You gonna call private.
They calling my phone when they wanna relate. They calling my phone when they wanna debate. They calling my phone when they just wanna hate. They calling my phone when I can't keep it straight. I calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
They calling my phone when they wanna relate. They calling my phone when they wanna debate. They calling my phone when they just wanna hate. They calling my phone when I can't keep it straight. I calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone, big dog.
ATX is where I got known. See, I'm from NY, but Austin is home. I'm the big homie for youngins that roam. So when they discouraged, they calling my phone. Hitting myself for that wisdom like Yoda. Tell them to flip on their SIM Motorola. Tell them keep pushing for God like a stroller. The fragrance of Christ, that precious aroma. I tell them to sleep on a hate like a coma. Give it your soul, your heart like a donor. Wanna put pressure on eye glaucoma. I don't owe a thing, not one iota. They be hitting my jack in the morning. They be pouring our hearts, they mourning. We got people in streets that be roaming. My little partner was lacking, they domed it. So I'm supporting my homie like back brace. I carry that cross to my back ache. Got splinters and pine all in my spine. Ain't the fruit of the spirit, got fat face. Don't change up, this ain't baseball. Hit the step back, shoot the game ball. I'm popping the tray, all in they face, and I'm sick with the cross like John Wall. They calling my phone when they wanna relate. They calling my phone when they wanna debate. They calling my phone when they just wanna hate. They calling my phone, I can't keep it straight. I calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone, big dog.
They calling my phone when they wanna relate. They calling my phone when they wanna debate. They calling my phone when they just wanna hate. They calling my phone, I can't keep it straight. I calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone, big dog.
They calling my phone like, bro, you still rapping? Chasing your call, pursuing your passion, giving your heart to these kids with compassion. 15 years, still ain't nothing happened. And you still ain't signed no record deal. Still ain't cashing no checks for real. Videos got like 20 of those, and you saying not one of them hit a meal. Still got that busted Honda Accord, and that apartment you barely afford. That 9 to 5, you hating your life, but telling these people to praise the Lord. But how are you staying encouraged today? How does your spirit stay nourished like that? It's looking like God gave all of his gifts, and then he decided to take it all back. I told you them church people fake. I told you they couldn't relate. Got all of that skill, but can't get a meal. Them saints got you scraping the plate. Look, first thing, wash your mouth. The spirit is present, and I am his house. The temple of God, and I would be fraud to swallow this truth and not spit it out. My soul ain't up for no auction. When I'm on stage, just speaking with caution. I look at the kids in the audience. If I chase $1, what would it cost them? You boys be up here just talking, running your mouth, pinching and barking. So I'm screaming the truth to the day that I die. My kids will be proud when they stare in my coffin. They calling my phone when they wanna relate. They calling my phone when they wanna debate. They calling my phone when they just wanna hate. They calling my phone, I can't keep it straight. I calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone, big dog.
They calling my phone when they wanna relate. They calling my phone when they wanna debate. They calling my phone when they just wanna hate. They calling my phone, I can't keep it straight. I calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone.
Quit calling my phone, big dog.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is QuakeRadio.com live with your humble host, Orlando Presents. We're sitting down with Mr. J Nice, the Kingdom Builder, and Dray South. You just got through listening to their track, Calling My Phone. Man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, I think a lot of people can relate to that track right there, most definitely, man.
Amen. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that.
Man, when I first heard that track, I was like, "Oh my goodness, that joint is going in hard, hard, hard." But 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 I have to be 100% honest. I have to be 100% honest. When I first heard the track, I was like, "Man, I wonder if people gonna take this the wrong way on what he's saying." But then when I kept listening to it, I'm like, who cares? He's being honest about what's going on.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I think that was where I was when I released it. Like at first, as I was writing, I just got to a point where I felt the message was a necessity, and after that point, I just no longer cared. Like I made music so long, trying so hard to make it digestible for everyone around me that sometimes I didn't enjoy. I didn't enjoy doing it because I knew that every song I was making was for someone else. But when you start to make music that will minister to you and people can identify with it, it's kind of like soul food. It starts to touch your soul and your heart. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, just to let y'all know, man, if you've been living underneath a rock, we're sitting down speaking with Jay Nice, the Kingdom Builder, and Mr. Dray South. They just released a project together called City Council. Man, make sure y'all go check that out, man. Make sure you go purchase it. Don't just check it out. Go purchase it. Do like I do, man. Don't go to McDonald's for about a week, and then you can buy a couple of tracks, you know?
That's a fact, man. Not even a week. McDonald's meal costs more than this album costs right now. Like a McDonald's meal with the inflation, like you can get this album cheaper than you can a Big Mac meal.
Exactly. And I don't even...
Yeah, I heard that Cardi Offset meal is like $25.
Man, anybody buying that is crazy. I'm sorry. You just buying it for the name. But I don't even mess with McDonald's like that, so I don't even know why I even said McDonald's. But even though, even if you go to a nice restaurant, you can still, you're gonna spend. You taking your lady out, to a nice restaurant or something. You're gonna spend at least $60, $70 or something like that. Hey, buy her a copy of this album. She'll love you for life. So don't even worry about it.
Facts. That is true.
Buy your wife my album.
Well, definitely, man. I love asking this question, but artists don't really like this question. But that's okay though.
Okay.
But you have the new project out, City Council. You and Dray South, Jay Nice and Dray South is on this cut. Between the both of y'all, what are your top 2 tracks on the album? Something that you can ultimately be like, you know what? If you only have time when you first listen to the project to hear 2 cuts, what are the 2 cuts that a person must listen to first?
Okay. I would say 10,000 Hours and Calling My Phone. But you just played Calling My Phone. So I don't want to talk about Calling My Phone right now. Let's say 10,000 Hours and I like The Dream. I like that one. I think since we already heard Calling My Phone, I would point people to those 2 songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for me, it would be the exact same answer, Calling My Phone and 10,000 Hours, just because those are the songs that Dre took his time to write about what he was personally experiencing. And Calling My Phone is when I took the time to talk about what I was personally experiencing. But because we did Calling My Phone, I would tell everyone to listen to Cuba and to 10,000 Hours, because those are the 2 songs that I go back to on the album, where again, this album is a lot of like personal, intimate thoughts and heart, but 10,000 Hours is a song that when I heard it, I was just like, yo, like this is captured excellently while still displaying art with clever and witty writing. So I really like that. And everyone so far has been telling us too that it's hard for them to pick a favorite song. It's like weird because the song that we keep getting the most from everybody consistently is like, I really like Dream. But this is my favorite song. And they'll pick another random song. So Dream is a song that everyone likes, and but then everyone has a different favorite song. So I definitely would recommend Cuba and Calling My Phone.
Okay, all right.
Sure. I mean, 10,000 hours. I'm sorry.
Sure. It's all good. It's all good. Let the folk. Well, since y'all was speaking about 10,000 hours, let the folks know a little bit about it. I mean, we don't have that queued up, but let them know about it, and then I guess they'll go rushing to listen to it.
Yeah, I wrote 10,000 hours. You know, I my second tour was with Jay Nice and Calvin Martyr, and they're both really, really good at making people cry. Like, they'll, at the end of their set, they'll do like a slow song, and Jay can actually sing, and Calvin is just confident enough to sing regardless. And so, like, they'll both sing, then they got folks crying, and, like, at the time, I'm 16, 17, so all I got is hype joints to make people jump around. So here it is, y'all, 10,000 hours, get your cry on. You know what I'm saying?
We can be depressed together.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But anyone that's heard the concept of 10,000 hours, it takes 10,000 hours to be a master at something. So I put 10,000 hours into this art. I put 10,000 hours into multiple things. And so it was just kind of that walking into the confidence of like, no, I got this. Like, I'm sure of it, you know, like I'm sure of this thing. And especially in something that like you feel like the Most High has called you into, you know, like once you've put in that time and it's time to go, it's time to go. My first song, my first single that I ever made, first music video, was a track called Young David. Check that out. Dray style for Young David on YouTube. I have a music video to it. And that one was really about me kind of coming into my own as a rapper, me telling a very honest story of just the first time I was rapping and some of my insecurities of that. And, you know, God might have called you something similar to God calling David king, but not taking David immediately into the space where people would identify him as king. You know, like the prophet came to David, said, yo, I'm going to anoint you as king. And then he left. He dissed him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, David was still there with the sheep. His day-to-day process looked the exact same for a while. But then you look up and you've actually put in a lot of work into something. And so, like, you've put in all this work into being a great shepherd, and now God's called you to be a king, and you realize, like, you put in your 10,000 into it. I hope that this song puts that same inspiration into everyone else where, like, you know, if God's called you to be a radio personality, if God's called you to be a community leader in your hood, if God's called you to be a doctor or whatever that is, you know, it's the walk in the marriage of both. Like, you're walking in something that God's called you into, but also treating it and valuing it enough to go ahead and put real time behind that calling. So,
right.
Yeah, I hope everyone's able to pull that from the song when they hear it, and I hope that they cry uncontrollably.
Oh my goodness, bro! That's funny because there's two songs right now. I can say there's two songs that I played. There's probably more, of course. Well, no. Sorry, no. But no, there's three songs that I know when I play them, it just brings the waterworks. So, you know, if this is number 4, I'm most definitely gonna give you some love. I'm gonna shout you out, shout some love, be like, yo, you're on the number 4 list now. Top 4 cuts that make me cry as soon as I listen to them. So I'm definitely
okay.
I'm definitely eager for that. But my next question, since you want to talk about crying and everything, and Jay Nice, this is, you know, for you as well, bro. What makes you cry but makes you laugh equally?
My career.
Wow.
If I'm being 100% honest, my career. I was telling Dray this the other day, man. Is when this album finally came out, right? I was driving, listening to the whole thing, and I just started worshiping God, like, and just screaming hallelujah at the top of my lungs and clapping my hands in the car and just through the roof elated that we finally were able to present this to the world. And I looked over, and it was like a random lady walking her dog down the street, looking at me like I was a crazy man. Like, and I laughed at myself because I was like, I know I look insane right now, but she'll never understand the joy that I had being able to complete something that the Father had called me to do. And I laughed so hard that I teared up, and I just started crying because I was like, yo, this is 20 years of me putting everything I have into creating art for the sake of the kingdom. Like, I've lost friends, I've lost relationships. It's hurt my romantic relationships. It's hurted my business associates. Like, me and Dray had another conversation about social media and like how I try to move away from it and get off of it because like my faith and my music and my call has affected, you know, my romantic relationship. It has affected my employment. It has affected all of this just so that I can present the gospel through music to people. And so I will laugh so hard about the funniest things. Like, this is insane how this happened. And then cry the next moment because I'm like, through it all, God is still giving me victory. So I'm being completely honest when I say my music career makes me laugh and cry at the same time.
Yeah.
What about you, Dre?
Jeez, man. What makes me laugh and cry? Outside of that joke, the bank, I'd say, you know, I think a similar answer to what Jay said, but I guess it's just some of that obedience to God. Like, that stuff does not make human sense sometimes, you know? And like, we were in another interview with another person, and they were kind of talking about some of their struggles of like, yo, like, I get frustrated with God is basically what they were saying, you know? And it's like, there's this like, God, I know what you have is the best for me, and I believe that, but like, yo, the day-to-day is rough, like difficult. So I think sometimes just, you know, just the walk, life in general can definitely get me like that. If I had to get more specific, I think I watched Oz the Great and Powerful with James Franco, where and there was a moment in there where your boy got teary. Man, I can't even lie, it happened. So.
All right. Yeah, I mean that's actually that's the first question that I've ever asked anybody. What makes you laugh and cry at the same time? You know, if I had to answer that question, I would say my family. My family makes me laugh and cry at the same time. I mean, because they can do some things and certain things, I just be like, wow, I can't believe you did that, laughing and everything. And then on the other end of it, certain things that have, you know, happened and certain things that we've battled through, especially, you know, the past couple of years with COVID and things of that nature. You know, because my dad, he was in a coma for 2 months. They had to put him in a coma and everything for 2 months because of, you know, him getting COVID so bad. And, you know, the family was there. We had to make the choice either to pull the plug or, you know, let him live. And, you know, blessfully, you know, we said, hey, let's give it a couple of days and see what God has in store. And we're blessed that we did that because he started breathing on his own. Just, you know, so it's like, hey, you know, so yeah, I would say my family. Definitely.
Yeah, it's got to be something you care about a lot that can pull you to like both extremes of like tears and like sadness like that and joy, like, for sure. So it has to be something like that calling or family or something that can pull you like that.
Right.
Man, it's really good news to hear that your father pulled through though. Like that's a blessing for real.
Amen.
Yeah, definitely. And that was a blessing all the way around because me and my dad never really had a close relationship, you know, and with him going through that made our relationship stronger, made our relationship closer to the point, you know, we actually speak to each other now. We, you know, laugh and joke about different things. He follows me on Instagram, so and things of that nature. So, you know, before that happened, all of that was non-existent. So I really do believe, God did have a plan for all of that. He always has a plan, so it just all depends on if we're gonna see exactly what's going on when it's supposed to be going on. So definitely, I'm grateful. I'm definitely grateful. So, but yeah, man, yeah. So life goes on, life moves on. We have Dray South and Jay Nice, the Kingdom Builder, here on the line. Builder, excuse me. It sounded kind of country there. Like,
No, you good.
but their latest project that they just dropped is City Council. So make sure y'all go check that out once again. Dray South, let the folks know about your social handles, different things of that nature, how they can go about just supporting you all the way around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you can definitely follow, holla at me, reach out, communicate to your boy at The Real Dray South on Instagram, on all socials, but I'm on Instagram the most. And then please check out my stuff on YouTube. Just type in Dray South, Dray South on YouTube, and check me out. Holla at me, man.
All right. Same with you, Mr.
City
J.
Council, like you said, all you have to do is put in Dray South City Council or just my name on any platform as well to hear the project and anything else out from me. So my bad, just wanted to throw that piece in there as well.
All good.
Yep. And I was going to say the same, man. Follow me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kingdom Builders TV. And then, of course, on Spotify and Apple Music, there is a button where you can click and follow the artist so that you'll get alerted every time a new project drops. So please, please, please do that. And add this album, or at least one song from this album, to your personal playlist for when you're at the gym. The project is literally 32 minutes. So you can get a good, just put this on and get a good workout in. And by the time you're done with your little 30-minute workout, the album is over. So I think it's a good little workout mix.
All right. Fantastic. Once again, man, I gotta say I'm honored to have you, both you brothers here on the show and everything. I was very surprised to hear from Jay Nice, the Kingdom Builder, definitely. So I was like, huh? What?
Hey, praise God. I'm glad we were able to reach out.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm honored. Actually, like I say, I was following you, man, when you were, dropping music, things of that nature or whatever. I always wondered what happened, because I really don't follow a lot of the what is it? The competitions,
Right.
Yeah, I really don't follow a lot of that.
The battles?
Yeah, the battles, yeah. Yeah, I really don't follow a lot of that, man. So maybe I need to start following some of that. Then I can see some of the other artists that I'm wondering where did they go to. Maybe they all went there as well.
No. There's a special collective of us that head in that direction. I do want to salute the brothers that are active in ministry through battle rap, man. So shout out to Saga, Street Hymns, Loso, A Ward, Air Jordan, Isaac Knox, K-Jack. There's like tons of us now who worship God through Christian hip hop. Yeah, Elijah Straight. So all of the brothers who are, King Will up in Dallas, all of the brothers who are able to show an example of Christ through battle rap. I do want to salute them and thank you, brothers, for doing that, because a lot of them are moving to that direction, because unfortunately we're more accepted over there than we are in our own culture at times. So I do understand why they do so. So shout out to those brothers as well.
Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. This is another awesome edition of QuakeRadio.com Live with your humble host, Orlando Presents. And if I have you brothers' permission, I want to go ahead and play 10,000 Hours.
Yes, please.
Man.
We love that song. We love that song.
But see, I have to play it while y'all are, off the air, most definitely, because I don't want to start crying with y'all on the air, man. Come on now.
Hey, man, just get the tissues close, man.
I'm a ugly.
And Kleenex, we're looking for sponsorship.
Hey, there you go. I'm an ugly
I'm
crier,
gonna do
man.
another version with just violin. Just violin.
Oh man, I'm gonna make a TikTok video of me crying listening to y'all songs. So
That's hilarious. That's a great idea. Everybody TikTok your tears to 10,000 hours.
there you
10,000
go.
tears. Let's get it.
Yes, 10,000 tears.
Yeah, man.
Oh my
Check it
goodness,
out.
that's
I
dope.
hope you enjoy it, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely,
Yeah.
most definitely. So yeah,
And
man.
that's important to say too. The entire catalog is available on TikTok, so make sure you go and look at all of our music and add it to your TikTok video.
Yes, yes, definitely.
And
But
I'm definitely just kidding about 10,000 hours, man. Feel free to cry to any song on the project, like whatever y'all got to do to get through. Honestly, but like Jay told me, somebody like was in tears to call on my phone. Remember that, bro? Like, you never know. You never know, man.
wow,
There's an established artist like with gold plaques, like gold albums.
wow.
You know, with probably 7 times the following that I do, that called me just to tell me that when he heard calling my phone the first time, him and his manager broke down crying in the studio because they can identify with the pain. So, yeah, you never know which song gets you here, because Cuba is also one of them songs where if you really listen to the lyrics of it, you can identify with it and just be like, Lord, like somebody else can feel my pain and understand, and it's helping me get through just because they identify with it. This album as a whole shares a lot of that, and I didn't realize it until we're having this conversation now.
Yeah, exactly.
And for some reason, Christian hip hop like fans love crying, so y'all go ahead and do that.
Hey, you're good at it, bro. Like, how come you keep doing that to people? I can't do it.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Hey, y'all gonna have people setting out to make people cry. Be like, what? Like, if this track don't make you cry, I'm scratching it.
I'm out.
Oh man. But all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, once again, we're about to go ahead and play this 10,000 hours right here on QuakeRadio.com live. We're sitting down with Dray South and Jay Nice, the Kingdom Builder. So y'all have a blessed evening, man.
Yes, sir. You too, man. Thank you for having us.
You as well, brother. Thank you so much.
Not a problem, man. It's my pleasure. My pleasure. Let's go.
So you gon' have to catch the vibe that I was in. I put my 10,000 hours in. I'm my own master, on my own masters. These my own words, in my own pages, in my own chapters. Master plan, black man, mastermind, go more blacker. And nothing's too much these days. I'm even throwing opportunities to ops these days. Like, hey, brother, it's too hard to go without these days. First opportunity I got was from Jay. 09 Irv drove us out to the place. Felt like the one turning on Anderson Lane. And since that day, I've had love, I've had pain, I've had beef, I've had gain. I'm not even talking life, I'm just talking about the game. See, I was late to Game of Thrones, man, I ain't watched the 26, but it makes sense. Yo, they use this as the blueprint for the biz. Why they do me like this? Hey, if they knew what I become, why would they do me like this? Would they have burned LeBron's jersey if they knew in 010 that the king would come back greater and make good on the chip? Yeah, hey, same chip on my shoulder, now I hold it up. I remember thinking, pull us, now we just pull it up. Yeah, I'm not saying that she perfect, and she the smart one, and she the fine one too. I had to for my purpose, and I got one, you gotta find one too. I give my last for my brothers, and if I went too, hey, I'm just built like that, so you gon' have to catch the vibe that I was in. I put my 10,000 hours in. I'm my own master, on my own masters. These my own words, in my own pages, in my own chapters. Master plan, black man, mastermind, go more blacker. And nothing's too much these days. I'm even throwing opportunities to ops these days. Like, hey, brother, it's too hard to go without these days. Look.
And I will manifest it. The scientific definition of power, this is the formula. Work multiplied by time. So you think about it. So work has a question mark, right? Next to work, if you imagine this equation, put work, write it down like work, and then in parentheses, question mark. Multiplied by, you put time, and in parentheses, we'll put 10,000 hours equals power. And power is whatever that thing that you're mastering when you actually become professional. So the question mark is, will you put in the work?
So you gon' have to catch the vibe that I was in. I put my 10,000 hours in. I'm my own master, on my own masters. These my own words, in my own pages, in my own chapters. Master plan, black man, mastermind, go more blacker. And nothing's too much these days. I'm even throwing opportunities to ops these days. Like, hey, brother, it's too hard to go without these days. Look. You know the type of time I'm on, the college dropout, hit up J Nights, now I'm screaming, watch the throne. I've been in a different state nights, now I'm hopping times and zones. A legend before 28 nights, now I'm putting partners on. I don't even rap like this, I'm offbeat and I'm monotone. I made it through another year, I'm thankful to God alone. Man made it through his beef with Gigi, I'm glad they got along. And I got a long list, I'm getting to it, coming for it. When you coming back, Lord, I've been praying in the sack store. If God don't do another thing, what more could I ask for? What you think I rap for? I've been saving for a rap for. Got homies who don't go to church, they just walk right past doors. I've been the one with compassion, but that just comes with the passion. I got no time to be slacking, I know my sons will be black men. The world will try to drag them, but I won't let it happen. If it's not dragging, it's drugging. Yeah, they gon' come up with something, but if it's not drugging, it's dropping. But I will not let it stop then. I'm into slaying these dragons, I'm into making these options. Maybe kicking the game inspired my son to go play soccer. Maybe rapping and healing inspired my daughter to go be a doctor.